It's already over, and Cardi B doesn't even know who pressed the button. By the time the harem noticed what really leaked from that birthday party, Cardi was already on Instagram begging for a man who wasn't answering his phone. And the worst part? The one person nobody's talking about is the same person who lit the match. Hold on. Let me back up. Because what you're about to hear about Cardi B is the kind of mess that doesn't make sense until the last sentence. So here's where we're actually starting tonight. Not at the beginning. Not at the baby shower. Not at the screaming match in Maryland. We're starting at the ending. The part Cardi B thinks nobody noticed. The ending is this. Cardi B publicly auditioned to be Stefon Diggs' unpaid publicist. She did it from her own Instagram, in front of 40 million people. And when the harem saw it, they didn't cry, they didn't scream, they smiled. Because they already knew Cardi B walked into a trap she helped build. Now let's rewind. Because the receipts on this one are crazy. Y'all, I'm gonna be honest with you. I wasn't even gonna cover this. I told my editor, babe, we've done Cardi B 3 times this month. And she said one sentence to me. She said, look at what Cardi B just posted about him. And I looked, and I sat down. Because Cardi B did something nobody on her team was supposed to let her do. But before we get into that, before we even touch what Cardi B posted, we have to talk about the birthday party. Because that birthday party is the room where everything cracked. Picture it. A first birthday. Pink everywhere. Balloons taller than the people standing under them. A custom cake that probably cost more than your rent. A baby girl who looked tired before the first photo was taken. And in the middle of all that pastel chaos, Stefon Diggs. Smiling. Holding the baby. Playing daddy of the year for the cameras. Now here's where I have to give the man his one credit, and then take it right back. Because as much as we dragged Stefon, he showed up. He paid. He held the baby. He stood next to the mama. That part, fine. That's the bare minimum. But in 2026, the bare minimum is apparently breaking news. But while everybody was zooming in on Stefon's outfit, and trust me, we are getting into that hair situation in a second, nobody was watching the real movement. Nobody except the one person who matters in this story. Cardi B. Cardi B was watching. Cardi B was refreshing. Cardi B was scrolling. And somewhere between the third repost and the fourth blog headline, Cardi B made a decision that her PR team is still trying to walk back. And listen, what Cardi B did next is the part the harem screenshotted before her assistant could delete it. But first the hair. Because we cannot move on like the internet didn't see it. Stefon Diggs showed up to his daughter's first birthday party with, and I want you to picture this with me, long braids. With burnt tips. Like somebody dipped the ends in hot tea and called it a style. Burnt tips. On a grown man. At a baby shower. In 2026. Now I'm not the fashion police. I'm really not. If the women in his life love it, then God bless. But there is something deeply funny about a man who has somewhere between 5 and infinity baby mamas walking into a room full of his exes wearing a hairstyle that says, I am the baddie of this relationship. Because that's what it is. Stefon is the baddie. Cardi B is the breadwinner. And the harem? The harem is the audience. And speaking of the harem, let's talk about who was actually in that room. Because the guest list is its own scandal. Stefon's mama was there. His brothers were there. The brother who reportedly used to do all the dirty work back in the day. Yeah, that one. The whole Diggs family rolled up to celebrate this baby. Beautiful. Wholesome. Family-oriented. Right? Wrong. Because the same mama who shows up to every Cardi B sighting like, Cardi, that's my favorite. That same mama was at this baby shower with a completely different energy. Quiet. Reserved. Almost like she was on assignment. And the internet noticed. One TikTok comment had me on the floor. Somebody wrote, Mama Diggs only does the Cardi face when Cardi's in the room. The rest of the time, she's on payroll. And honestly, I can't even argue. Because Mama Diggs has perfected what we're now calling the Cardi B pivot. That thing where she becomes Cardi B's biggest fan the second a camera flashes, and goes back to neutral the second Cardi B leaves the building. Now here's the part nobody's saying out loud. There's a reason Mama Diggs is doing the Cardi B pivot. And it has nothing to do with love. It has everything to do with the fact that Cardi B is, and this is according to multiple people who have whispered this to multiple bloggers, paying for things she shouldn't be paying for. But hold on. We're getting ahead of ourselves. Let me roll it back. Because if I drop that bomb now, the rest of the story won't hit. Just know this. The receipt I'm about to show you involves Cardi B, an Instagram story, and a stat she didn't even understand when she posted it. Okay, now we get to the moment. The moment Cardi B told on herself without realizing she was telling on herself. While the birthday party was trending, while every gossip page on earth was dragging Stefan for showing up with the mother of his child, while Cardi B should have been laying low and letting the news cycle move past her, Cardi B picked up her phone, opened Instagram, and posted a graphic. Not a thirst trap, not a vacation photo, not a snippet of an upcoming song. A football stat. Cardi B, multi-platinum, Grammy-winning, Billboard-topping Cardi B, posted a ranking of the top 5 wide receivers by total receiving yards over the last 10 NFL seasons. Travis Kelce, DeAndre Adams, Tyreek Hill, Mike Evans, and tucked in there like she was placing him into history herself. Stefon Diggs. And then she captioned it. No confusion. I had to read it twice. I had to read it 3 times. Because what Cardi B was doing in that post is one of the most embarrassing things I have ever watched a celebrity of her caliber do in real time on a public account. Cardi B was advertising her boyfriend to NFL teams. From her personal Instagram, Cardi B was running her man's LinkedIn for him. Cardi B, the same Cardi B who has sold out arenas on 3 continents. The same Cardi B who has her own beauty line. The same Cardi B who could quite literally text any executive in any industry and get a response in 12 minutes. Was reduced to making a free infographic for a man whose own agent is supposed to be doing that job. And then no confusion at the end? Bestie, that's the part that did it for me. Because that wasn't a caption. That was Cardi B begging. That was Cardi B saying, look at his stats. Please look at his stats. Don't look at the harem. Don't look at the case files. Don't look at the burnt tips. Look at the stats. And the saddest part? Cardi B doesn't even watch football. Cardi B has said this in interviews. Cardi B has admitted it on tour. Cardi B does not know what a route tree is. Cardi B does not know what man coverage is. Cardi B is out here posting receiving yards like she's the new general manager of the New England Patriots. And we're all supposed to pretend this is normal. Okay, so let's talk about the Patriots. Because the Patriots are at the center of everything Cardi B is doing right now, and most people watching this don't know why. Here's the timeline, condensed. Stefon Diggs got picked up. Cardi B got involved. Cardi B started showing up at games. A blow-up happened. Cameras caught Cardi B screaming in public. The clip went viral. The Patriots organization did what every organization does when their player's girlfriend becomes the story. They cooled off. The deal cooled off. The vibes cooled off. And next thing Stefon knew, the contract conversation he thought was locked started looking shaky. Now ask yourself this. Who is the only person on earth who feels guilty enough about that to try to fix it from her own Instagram account? Cardi B. Only Cardi B. Cardi B is the only person in this entire scenario who would put her name on the line trying to rebuild a man's NFL career by posting a graphic. That's why she posted no confusion. She wasn't talking to the harem. She wasn't talking to her fans. She wasn't even talking to Stefan. Cardi B was talking to Robert Kraft. Cardi B was talking to the front office. Cardi B was saying, if you sign him back, you get me too. You get the cameras. You get the headlines. You get the Cardi-Stefan couples cam on the Jumbotron. Just bring him back. And that right there, is the saddest part of this whole story. Because Cardi B is offering herself as a package deal to a franchise that already told her, in their own polite corporate way, that she is the reason they passed. And the harem? The harem is sitting back, drinking wine watching Cardi B do all this work. For free. For a man who, while she was typing that caption, was very busy somewhere else. With somebody else. Now we have to bring up KJ. Because no Stefan story is complete without KJ. KJ is the one with the tattoo. The one whose name is written under his chest in cursive. The one he got that tattoo for while Cardi B was carrying his most recent baby. Yeah, that KJ. The mother of his oldest. The one the harem unofficially considers the queen bee. The one who has never bowed to Cardi B and apparently never will. While Cardi B was posting receiving yards, KJ was posting something else. KJ was posting a quote. One of those soft Pinterest-looking quotes that said something like, he said, she said, it was probably a Tuesday. I lost all respect for bro. And then she let it sit there. For hours. For a full day. Long enough for every screenshot account to pick it up. Now some people say KJ was talking about Lindsay, the assistant. Some people say she was talking about Chef Mila. But anyone who has watched KJ's posting patterns for the last year knows KJ does not waste her energy on side characters. KJ only ever cryptic posts about Stefan. KJ only ever cryptic posts about the harem. KJ only ever cryptic posts about Cardi B. And that is the part Cardi B does not want to admit. Because deep down, Cardi B knows KJ has receipts that even Chef Mila doesn't have. KJ has been there longest. KJ has the longest paper trail. KJ has the most leverage. And KJ has decided, at least for this season, that her weapon of choice is the quiet caption. Cardi B can post all the football stats in the world. KJ can post one sentence and bring the entire harem to its knees. And here's the part nobody wants me to say out loud. KJ doesn't even have to fight Cardi B. Because Cardi B is fighting herself in public. Now let's slow down and look at the 3 theories the internet has about why Cardi B posted that ranking. Because this is where the gossip gets organized. And I want you, the viewer, to pick one in the comments. Because I genuinely don't know which one is right. I think it might be all 3. But you tell me. Theory 1. Cardi B was flexing. Cardi B was reminding Stefan, and reminding the harem, that she is the richest person in the room. The most famous. The most marketable. The one who can put him on stadium screens, on red carpets, on magazine covers. Cardi B was saying, I made you the celebrity boyfriend of the year. Don't forget who put the spotlight on you. The problem with this theory? You don't flex on a man who already left you on read for a baby shower invite he didn't send you. Theory 2. Cardi B was apologizing. This is the one that hurts the most. Because Stefan, after the Maryland incident, was reportedly furious that Cardi B made him look bad in front of his hometown. Sources say Stefan told Cardi B she damaged his image, hurt his potential settlements, and made him look violent in public. And Cardi B, instead of letting him handle his own PR mess, apologized in the most Cardi B way possible. By posting a stat sheet. By turning herself into his cheerleader. By writing no confusion when there is, in fact, an enormous amount of confusion. This theory makes me want to call Cardi B on the phone and ask her one question. Just one. Sis, who hurt you? Theory 3. And this is the one nobody's saying loud enough. Cardi B was speaking to her own fans. The Barty gang has been openly, loudly, publicly humiliated by this relationship for months. Barty gang has been saying Stefan isn't worthy. Barty gang has been calling him a baby-making machine. Barty gang has been begging Cardi B to walk away. And Cardi B, instead of listening to the army that built her, posted that graphic to tell her own fans, stop talking about my man like that. He's a top 5 receiver. Look it up. Which is, again, the most Cardi B sentence ever uttered. Pick one. Comment one. Because the answer changes the whole story. Now I want to slow it all the way down. Because in the middle of all this, the harem, the captions, the receipts, the burnt tips, the football stats, the Patriots, the apologies, the timelines, there's a little girl, turning 1, who looked, in every photo, like she was ready to go to bed. That part stuck with me. Because while the adults were performing for the cameras, the actual birthday girl was tired. She wanted her nap. She wanted her mama. She did not care that Stefan was holding her for the photo op. She did not care that Cardi B was in another city typing receiving yards. She did not care about KJ's cryptic Pinterest quote. She just wanted her bottle and her bed. And that's the part that should be making Cardi B think. Because somewhere in this story, the kids are still the kids. And Cardi B, who I will say this for, has always been a hands-on, vocal, protective mother. Cardi B has to know that the harem is going to outlive this relationship. Those kids are going to grow up. Those kids are going to Google their daddy. Those kids are going to find Cardi B's no confusion post. And they're going to ask questions Cardi B is not ready to answer. That, more than anything else, is why this post bothers me. Not because Cardi B embarrassed herself. Cardi B has embarrassed herself before. Cardi B is a professional at embarrassing herself in entertaining ways. That's part of why we love her. But this one is different. This one is going on the internet permanently. This one is going into a custody file one day. This one is going to be Exhibit A in a story somebody else is writing about Cardi B without her permission. And the worst part? Cardi B doesn't know yet that the post is being saved by people who do not love her. Now I have to bring up Offset. Briefly, carefully. Because Offset is the wild card in every Cardi B story, and if we don't mention him at least once, the algorithm will know and it will punish us. Sources close to the situation, and yes, I have sources, Don't play with me. Say Offset has been unusually quiet during this Stefan arc, too quiet. The kind of quiet that, if you've been watching Cardi B and Offset for as many years as we have, makes you nervous. Because Offset doesn't do silent. Offset does receipts. Offset does Instagram lives at 3 a.m. Offset does cryptic, crying videos. And right now, Offset is doing none of that. Which means one of two things. Either Offset has finally found peace, which, let's be honest, would be a first, or Offset is waiting. Waiting for Cardi B to make one more public mistake. Waiting for the harem to drag her one more time. Waiting for the perfect moment to insert himself back into her timeline. And whether Cardi B wants to admit it or not, every time she posts something embarrassing about Stefan, Offset moves up one slot in the comeback queue. The harem isn't Cardi B's biggest threat. It never was. The harem is the distraction. The real player hasn't even moved yet. Now let's talk about Chef Mila. Because Chef Mila's case did not go in her favor, we all know that. But Chef Mila's mouth did not stop. Chef Mila has continued to imply, through one interview after another, that Cardi B knew. That Cardi B was warned. That Cardi B was told, in detail, what kind of man she was getting involved with. Now, legally, none of that has been proven. Let me say that clearly. Stefan was found not guilty in that round. So we are not stating anything as fact. We are simply observing, the way the internet observes, that Chef Mila has remained remarkably consistent in her version of events. And consistency, in gossip, is a very dangerous thing for whoever is on the other side of it. What does this have to do with Cardi B's no confusion post? Everything. Because the moment Cardi B posted that stat sheet, she effectively co-signed every accusation against Stefan. She told the world, in public, whatever they're saying about him, I'm still here. I'm still ranking him. I'm still defending him. I'm still mine, his, ours, and forever. And Chef Mila, wherever Chef Mila is tonight, saw that post and smiled. Because Cardi B just made her job easier. Cardi B keeps thinking she's defending Stefan. She's actually building the prosecution's opening statement. Okay, so here's where I have to step back and explain something to the new viewers. Because if you're new to this channel, you might be confused why I'm treating one Instagram post like it's a federal case. It's because this is not one Instagram post. This is a hybrid play. This is what we, in the gossip business, call the celebrity as PR firm strategy. It's when a famous girlfriend takes over the public image of a less famous boyfriend and starts running his career from her own platform. We have seen it before. We saw it with one couple in basketball. We saw it with another couple in music. We saw it with Taylor Swift and the tight end. And every time we've seen it, it has only worked when the girlfriend is unbothered, untouchable, and uninvolved in the boyfriend's drama. Cardi B is none of those things. Cardi B is bothered. Cardi B is involved. Cardi B is, by her own captions, in the middle of every fight. So when Cardi B tries to copy the celebrity girlfriend playbook, it doesn't look glamorous. It looks desperate. It looks like Cardi B is doing unpaid intern work for a man who has, statistically, not been faithful to anyone in a verified relationship since the smartphone was invented. And that's why the harem laughed. That's why KJ smiled. That's why Mama Diggs went quiet. They all saw it. They all understood it. Cardi B is running a campaign for a candidate who does not know he's running. The campaign is doomed. And Cardi B is the only one who hasn't seen the polling. Now I'm about to give you the new information. The part that, as far as I can tell, no other channel has put on the record yet. Take this with whatever salt you need. I am not naming the source. I am not putting them at risk. But I trust them, and they have been right before. The source says this. The source says that on the night of the birthday party, the very same night Cardi B was posting receiving yards, there was a private dinner. A small one. 6 people. And the source says one of those 6 people was someone Cardi B has explicitly asked Stefan to stop being around. I will not name that person on camera. Because if I name them, somebody's lawyer will call. But the harem already knows. The harem is already whispering. The harem is already whispering. And the harem is already deciding whether to leak the photo. If the photo drops, this whole conversation changes. The no confusion post becomes a national joke. The Patriots conversation becomes radioactive. The Barty gang has a meltdown. And Cardi B, who has been through more than most women in entertainment can survive, will have to make the hardest decision she's ever made on a Wednesday. The photo exists. The question is whether the harem loves Cardi B enough to keep it locked. Now I want to take 1 second, just one, to defend Cardi B. Because if I don't, you're going to think this video is a hit piece. It isn't. I love Cardi B. We all love Cardi B. Cardi B is one of the last real superstars we have left. Think about it. In an era where every celebrity is media trained into a coma, Cardi B picks up her own phone. In an era where every artist hides their personal life behind a publicist, Cardi B argues with strangers in the comment section. In an era where every famous woman is afraid to be messy, Cardi B is professionally messy. And we love her for it. That is why even when Cardi B does the most embarrassing things, and posting a receiving yards graphic to defend a boyfriend is up there, top 3, no notes. We don't cancel her. We laugh. We post. We rewind. We rewatch. Because Cardi B feels like the last old-school celebrity. The kind whose life is the show. The kind whose mistakes are the marketing. The kind who doesn't need a Netflix documentary because her Instagram story is already the documentary. So when I say Cardi B is auditioning for Stefan, I'm not insulting her. I'm worried about her. There's a difference. I don't want Cardi B humbled. I want Cardi B free. I want Cardi B writing her next #1 record from a penthouse with no man's name on the lease. I want Cardi B happy. And Cardi B will not be happy as long as she is the public spokesperson of a private harem. She doesn't need to win Stefan. She needs to remember she already won, long before he showed up. Let me lay out the timeline. Because once you see it laid out, like this, in order, it stops being gossip. It becomes a pattern. And patterns are what get you in trouble. Step 1. Cardi B and Stefan go public. The Barty gang panics. Step 2. The first baby mama leaks. Cardi B goes quiet. Step 3. The second baby mama surfaces. Cardi B doubles down. Step 4. The Chef Mila situation explodes. Cardi B defends. Step 5. The Maryland argument goes viral. Cardi B disappears for 48 hours. Step 6. The Patriots conversation cools. Cardi B reappears with a soft launch couples post. Step 7. The harem regroups. The harem starts hinting. Cardi B starts subtweeting. Step 8. The birthday party happens. Cardi B is not invited. Step 9. Cardi B posts a receiving yards graphic with the caption, "No confusion." Step 10. The harem screenshots it. The harem starts mailing. That timeline tells you everything. Cardi B is not in a relationship. Cardi B is in a recurring storyline. And in every episode of this storyline, Cardi B plays the same character, the loyal one, the defender, the cleanup crew, the unpaid publicist, the girlfriend who keeps showing up to support somebody who doesn't even text back on time. And if Cardi B doesn't change the script, the harem is going to write the season finale for her. Remember that article from 2025? The one that went viral? The one that said, with a straight face, that having a boyfriend in 2025 was embarrassing? Everybody laughed at it. Everybody thought it was a hot take. Everybody moved on. Cardi B did not. Cardi B might be, and please understand I am saying this with love, Cardi B might be the case study that article was waiting for. Because everything Cardi B is doing right now, the captions, the rankings, the defenses, the timeline engineering, the soft launch reposts, the Patriots advocacy, none of it would happen if Cardi B were single. Single Cardi B is in the studio. Single Cardi B is on tour. Single Cardi B is winning awards. Single Cardi B is shutting down red carpets. Single Cardi B does not have time to be designing infographics for a man whose own agent should be doing that work. Boyfriend-era Cardi B, on the other hand, is on her phone defending him. At every hour. In every comment section. In every Instagram story. Boyfriend-era Cardi B is the embarrassment the article was warning us about. And the worst part? Cardi B used to make jokes about that article. Cardi B used to laugh at women who folded for unworthy men. Cardi B used to be the loud, free, untouchable energy that women on the internet quoted in their group chats. Now Cardi B is the group chat topic. Cardi B did not become a cautionary tale by accident. Cardi B was recruited. There is one question Cardi B has never answered in any interview. Not on a podcast. Not on a red carpet. Not on her own life. Not in a song. And it is the only question that matters in this entire story. The question is this. What does Stefan Diggs give Cardi B that Cardi B cannot already give herself? Money? Cardi B has her own. Fame. Cardi B is more famous than him by an order of magnitude. Protection? Cardi B has security that can be deployed in 3 minutes. Style? Cardi B is, by every measurable metric, a fashion icon. Children? Cardi B already has hers, beautifully and on her own terms. So what is it? What is the thing Cardi B is so afraid of losing that she would publicly post football statistics in defense of a man who has not earned, publicly, the basic respect of being faithful in a verified relationship? Some say it's loneliness. Some say it's a savior complex. Some say it's the high of being chosen. Some say it's the trauma loop. Some say it's just stubbornness. Cardi B refusing to let her fans say, "We told you so." I have my own theory, and I am going to whisper it because I don't want it screenshotted out of context. I think Cardi B is in love with the version of herself she becomes inside chaos. Cardi B grew up in chaos. Cardi B built her brand on chaos. Cardi B made her fortune on chaos. And when the chaos goes quiet, Cardi B doesn't feel famous anymore. So Cardi B keeps reaching for the next storm. And Stefan is just the current storm. There will be another. The harem is not Cardi B's enemy. The chaos is. So what happens next? Because every gossip video needs a forecast, and I am not going to leave you without one. Forecast 1. Within 30 days, Cardi B will post a soft photo of her and Stefan. Cozy. Low light. Possibly black and white. The caption will be something short. 2 words. Maybe an emoji. The Barty gang will riot in the comments. Cardi B will not respond. Forecast 2. Within 60 days, a new baby mama will surface. Not Chef Mila. Not KJ. Somebody new. Somebody we have not discussed on this channel. And when she surfaces, the receipts will be uglier than anything we've seen so far. Mark this date. Forecast 3. Within 90 days, the Patriots conversation will either close completely, meaning Stefan does not return, or it will reopen with a publicly leaked rumor, and Cardi B will be credited by gossip blogs as the reason. Either way, Cardi B will be in the headline. Forecast 4. Within 120 days, Cardi B will either drop new music or drop the man. And if I had to bet, and I am betting in front of you right now, I am betting Cardi B drops the music first and the man second. Because Cardi B always picks the album when the album is ready. And word in the industry is that the album is almost ready. If the album drops first, Stefan's window closes. If the man drops first, the album becomes the breakup album of the decade. Here is the part 1 I'm not supposed to say. The part the lawyers told me to soften. The part the comments are going to fight about. The part that, if you're still watching this video, you deserve to hear, because you stuck with me this long. Cardi B is not being played. Cardi B is choosing this. I know that is a hard sentence. I know the loyal fans are about to type angry comments. But hear me out. Cardi B is a fully grown, fully wealthy, fully respected woman. Cardi B has access to every therapist, every lawyer, every publicist, every assistant on earth. Cardi B could leave tomorrow. Cardi B knows she could leave tomorrow. Cardi B chooses, every morning, to stay. And there is something brave about that, even when it's heartbreaking. Because Cardi B is publicly trying to make this work in a world that publicly bet against her. And that, in its own twisted way, is rebellion. That is Cardi B saying, "I will not let your gossip decide my love life." That is Cardi B saying, "I will be embarrassed in public if it means I get to choose in private." That is Cardi B saying, "I will rank his stats from my own page because nobody else will." We can argue about whether she's right. We cannot argue about whether she is choosing. She is choosing, loudly, daily, in front of all of us. And the harem hates that. Because the harem cannot break a woman who keeps choosing. Now let me leave you with the twist. Because every good story has one, and this one is a doozy. Remember the post. The receiving yards. The no confusion. The one we've been talking about for the entire video. The one that everybody, including this channel, has spent days analyzing. The twist is this. According to one source, and I will say the source is good but not perfect, Cardi B did not write that caption. Cardi B did not pick that graphic. Cardi B did not post that statistic alone. Somebody on Stefan's side suggested it. Somebody on Stefan's side framed it. And Cardi B, in the heat of the moment, hit post. If that source is right, and I want to be careful, because I don't know yet, then this entire arc shifts. It becomes less about Cardi B humiliating herself, and more about Cardi B being walked into a humiliation she did not design. It becomes less about a desperate girlfriend, and more about a manipulated partner. It becomes less about love and more about leverage. And it makes the harem smile make sense. Because the harem knew. The harem knew Cardi B didn't come up with that on her own. The harem knew Cardi B was set up to post that. The harem knew, before any of us knew, that Cardi B was being used as a one-woman PR machine, while the man she was promoting was, in real time, doing the very things her fans were warning her about. The story is not Cardi versus the harem. The story is Cardi versus the person whispering in her ear. Now let me tell you something Cardi B will never admit on camera. Cardi B reads the comments. All of them. The good ones, the bad ones, the ones with 17 typos, the ones with the laughing crying emojis. Cardi B reads them. Cardi B has admitted this on live before. Cardi B told us, in her own voice, that she lurks. Cardi B sees what the Barty gang is saying. Cardi B knows when the energy shifts. So when I tell you Cardi B saw the comments under that receiving yards post, I am not guessing. I am stating it as fact. Cardi B read every single one. Cardi B saw the ones laughing. Cardi B saw the ones begging her to delete it. Cardi B saw the ones from longtime fans saying, "Sis, what are we doing?" And Cardi B, being Cardi B, left the post up anyway. Because Cardi B has never been able to back down from a public stance, even when the public is telling her to. That is both Cardi B's greatest strength and Cardi B's most expensive habit. The same stubbornness that made Cardi B a superstar is the same stubbornness keeping her in a storyline that her own fans are openly grieving in her comment section. The comment section is Cardi B's mirror. And right now, the mirror is begging her to look up. Okay, I want to say one more thing. Because if I don't, my comment section will, and I would rather say it first. There is a version of this story where Cardi B is not the embarrassed party. There is a version of this story where Cardi B knows exactly what she is doing. There is a version of this story where Cardi B is the smartest person in the room, playing a long game none of us can see yet. What if Cardi B is letting Stefan trip in public on purpose? What if Cardi B is letting the harem expose itself slowly so that when she finally walks away, the receipts are already written by other women? What if Cardi B is letting the world watch the whole circus so that her eventual breakup album hits like a freight train and every lyric lands with documented context? I am not saying that is what is happening. I am saying that Cardi B is too smart, too experienced, and too well coached to be as confused as she looks. And every time I think Cardi B has lost the plot, Cardi B turns around and drops a verse that reminds me she was always in control. So maybe the joke is on us. Maybe the harem is the audience. Maybe Stefan is the prop. Maybe the receiving yards post is the bait. Maybe the whole birthday arc was content. And maybe, just maybe, Cardi B is letting us write the trailer for her next era for free. If that is the move, Cardi B is not desperate. Cardi B is directing. I told you earlier that I would not name the sixth person at that private dinner. I am keeping that promise. But I will tell you this. The sixth person's initials have been quietly trending in the harem's private group chats for the last 72 hours. The sixth person was photographed with Stefan's brother twice in the last 6 months. The sixth person follows 3 of the baby mamas on a Finsta. The sixth person has, on record, deleted exactly 1 Instagram story in the last 48 hours, a story that, according to One Mutual, showed a corner of a hand wearing a watch the internet has already identified as Stefan's. I will let you, the viewer, do the math. I will not say the name. But understand this. If that name surfaces in a credible blog within the next 2 weeks, you will know I was telling you the truth tonight. And you will know that Cardi B, while she was posting football stats, was being filmed by a phone in a room she did not know about. Cardi B does not know yet. But the harem already does. And the harem is deciding, in real time, how merciful they want to be. So when the dust finally settles on this chapter, and it will settle because nothing on the internet lasts more than 90 days, I want you to remember one thing about Cardi B. Not the post, not the harem, not the burnt tips, not the Patriots, not the timeline, not even the receiving yards. Remember that Cardi B, at the height of her career, with more money than her childhood block had ever seen, with awards on her shelf and her name in the history books, with millions of people who would die for her on stage, still chose to defend a man in public. That tells you something about Cardi B. And whether you read it as loyalty or as loneliness, as bravery or as bondage, depends entirely on what you bring to the screen tonight. Some of you are going to watch this and feel sad for Cardi B. Some of you are going to watch this and feel angry at Cardi B. Some of you are going to watch this and feel seen by Cardi B. All of those reactions are valid. All of those reactions are why Cardi B is the last real superstar. The harem can post. KJ can hint. Chef Mila can imply. Mama Diggs can pivot. Offset can lurk. The Patriots can pass. The blogs can chase. But none of them, not one of them, is Cardi B. Cardi B is in a category by herself. Cardi B will always be in a category by herself. And whatever Cardi B does next, the internet will follow, because the internet has never stopped following Cardi B. Not for one day. Not since the first viral video. Not since the first verse. Not since the first headline. Cardi B is the show. And the show has not ended. The show has just paused for a commercial break. When the show comes back from break, somebody else is going to be sitting in Cardi B's seat. The question is whether Cardi B is the one who stood up, or whether Cardi B is the one who got moved. So that, my dear Icon Tempest family, is where we leave it tonight. Cardi B is on Instagram. The harem is on screenshot duty. Stefan is on the field. The Patriots are on the phone. Chef Mila is on the timeline. KJ is on a cryptic quote streak. Mama Diggs is on assignment. Offset is on standby. And the album is in the studio, waiting for Cardi B to remember who she was before all this started. I want you to do one thing for me before you close this tab. I want you to ask yourself, honestly, which Cardi B you want back. The one who posts football stats for a man, or the one who used to post nothing because she didn't have to explain herself to anybody? Drop your answer in the comments. Drop your theory. Drop your prediction. And while you're down there, hit that subscribe button, because next week, and I mean this, next week I am dropping the part 2 of this story, and it includes a name nobody else has dared to say. I am Icon Tempest. The harem can keep whispering. I will keep talking. And Cardi B, if you're watching, and you sometimes do, because I see who screenshots my thumbnails, Cardi B, baby, this one is for you. You are bigger than this storyline. You always were. Stay loud. Stay nosy. Stay loyal to nobody but yourselves. One more thing. Yes, Cardi B will see this. No, Cardi B will not respond. Yes, the harem is already screenshotting. No, I am not afraid. Every word about Cardi B tonight was said with care, with full context, and with the receipts to back it. Cardi B truly knows the difference between a hater and a journalist on her best day. So if Cardi B is watching, and I see those analytics, Cardi B, hear me plain. We are not here to bury you. We are reminding you the world is bigger than this harem, bigger than this man, bigger than this caption. The world is choosing Cardi B every single day. Come back home, Cardi. The world misses you.